Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nevada Women's Film Festival, program number 16, our live Q&A portion. My name is Samantha Rodriguez, and I'm helping run the behind the scenes with my partner, Jemsen Bollozos. Both of us are co-founders of Eccentric Artists, which is a local Nevada art collective, and we are serving as the festival's executive committee this year. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to today's moderator, Kristel Torvik Muir. She's been a 30-year resident of Las Vegas, Nevada. She was a student during the very first year of the Distinguished Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. She's currently the CFO of Stickman Sound, a staple of the Nevada production community. In her 12 years as CFO, she's achieved considerable success working with big budget and award-winning productions. Kristel also regularly donates her time and services to budding filmmakers, film festivals, and charities, and she is a committee member for the Nevada Women's Film Festival. So happy to be here with you today, Kristel, and take it away.
Oh, thank you so much. I am here with everyone from, well, not everyone, but most of the group from program 16. They are here somewhere. If we'd like to bring everyone in, please, I can start introducing. Hello. All the happy faces. So we have from from Haute Cuisine, we have writer-director Merryl Roche. She's joining us today. Thank you so much. We've got from Shortcuts, we've got director Marie-Therese Lynn, and with her on her couch, we have Georg, one of the actors, and Tobias, one of the cinematographers. We also have Tany, one of the other actors, and we are so thankful to have you all here today. We also have Aude, I'm going to mispronounce this and I'm really sorry, I did not check on the last name, Aude Thuries. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Little things from Jesus 2020. She is the director writer, and I am so excited to be with this group today. I appreciate you all taking the time to join us and be part of our festival. I think if it's all right, I'm going to start with Haute Cuisine with Merryl. So I'm not sure if everyone that's joining in was able to watch this. I really hope so. It was amazing. It centers on Marie, who joins a multi-award-winning chef. She's focusing on her craft and trying to blend in with the rivalry. And then, of course, drama and chaos a little bit. Slight accident, some blood in a sauce, and it goes from there. There seems to be so many themes in this, 20 some minutes of film. It's a really broad question, but how did this come into existence, especially the writer and the director?
Well, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Actually, it came from the idea of, we have an expression in French. I guess it's the same in the US. How you can bleed for your work, literally bleed for your work. And I guess my first experience when I was way younger, as I started my first job, I had this impression that I was literally bleeding for my job. And then it didn't go well at the time. But after a few years, I had always this impression that maybe I should do something about that feeling, how you give everything for a job and it's never enough for the person that you work for. And I'm also passionate about cuisine in general. So I said, hey, well, that would be the perfect actually match, to have someone literally bleed herself for her work, and how it would mix into a sauce, and just like people would go crazy for this. So I just started with this idea and just see where it went, and just let the writing work and just work with that idea, basically.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was one of the things of the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into a job was one of the things I was pulling out of it. So it's nice to hear that might have been kind of, I'm not wrong in that idea of, the bleeding into your work. I think there are projects we've all been there with. Mm-hmm. You're like, it better help.
Yes.
For shortcuts, it is, give a brief explanation. Anton, a middle-aged hotel inspector, is spending most of his life in his car, and he takes a turn down a road and his normal routine changes, and there's a confrontation that happens, you know, being pulled out of your element, and you know, it's kind of a little quirky back and forth. And I know this was Marie-Therese, your directorial debut, and I know it was the idea of tackling like two men, and that, you know, the male viewpoint from a women's perspective. Seems like a pretty big go at a first directorial. Like, how did you, like, with that viewpoint, was that the intention, or was it something as it was happening?
Yeah, it kind of happened. Everything came together. Tany, Gabriel, who is also here, he did also write the script. So we met each other in a theater production some years back, and I came to him. We met in a cafe in Vienna, and I asked him to write something really sweet, like something really fairy tale-y. And then the next time we met, he brought this script. It's not so fairy tale-y at all, but I just went with it. I was like, that's so cool, let's do this. Yeah. That's how it happened. And then of course the whole process started. Like, actually we did have this idea, okay, could we like change the characters into women? We did think about that, but for me then it wasn't so interesting anymore, because also it started to become interesting to do something about men. And that just happened in the process.
It's not something we see very often. I mean, you know, the dynamic of just having, I guess, you know, two men on film. But I mean, for me, knowing that there's a female director, it's not something we see. So it was an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I think it's something that you naturally do something about, something that you know very well. But the funny thing is there's so many films obviously naturally made by men about women, right? Yep. So like, yeah. Yeah, but it really just grew everything together. Like my whole team, we kind of just met. It really feels like we have already done so much together in this really short time. And I'm so thankful to be here, and I'm really, really happy to be part with Shortcuts with my team at the festival. I'm really happy.
Oh, we're so excited to have you here. It's a pleasure. I think, well, you actually got on one of my others I was going to ask about choosing the script, but Tany was here, and so that's really nice. I don't know. I think when I was looking through, I saw the actor. I did not see the script writer also. My apologies. I didn't put those two together. So
no problem at all.
But that's really cool. I really like that. I'm going to do my next question for Aude with Jesus 2020. This was like, I'm not sure, a comedy, but kind of a drama, but I really enjoyed the social media aspect of how it plays very now. It centers around Claire, who is given a job by her advertising agency to help a small church parish that isn't doing so hot, and a very enthusiastic father that is trying to bring people into his church. And so they launched this social media campaign, and lo and behold, Jesus starts responding on Twitter. And he has some thoughts that he wants to share with the world. There are many questions I have, and it's going to be kind of another broad scope one, but again, how did this one come up? Was there like an aha moment of, because you are the writer and the director, of like, I need to put this on paper, I need to put this on film. How did you make this happen?
First of all, you're right. It's between comedy and drama, and it was the idea at the beginning. And it's not an ordinary beginning, because I wouldn't say it it started with a command project. I don't know, a project which is ordered by someone else. It's not quite that, but we have in France a channel. I don't know if in US it's the same system. I don't know it is, but in France the channel are the financiers of the film and the short film. And one of these channels wanted to do some short films about love, and especially love 2.0. Love on social media, etc., etc. And love 2.0, I started to think about it, and it comes with Jesus, because Jesus is the absolute figure of love. So I start to think about how I can do a comedy drama with it.
It worked. I mean, I was like, oh, there's, you know, the Claire's story, but then mixed in with the whole Twitter and, you know, Jesus talking through Twitter. I was thoroughly entertained watching it. So yeah, I was kind of curious if there was just that moment. So that's really cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna swing back over to Merryl. I'm gonna kind of go in circles because it works for me usually. For Merryl, how did you choose and get your cast? Josephine Japy was, oh my gosh, she was amazing, and and her rival, it just seemed like such great casting. How did you get that team together?
Well, actually, she's quite famous in France. She's done several feature, and she's really like maybe there are 10 actors of her age, sorry, in France, and she's one of the 10, you know, most famous in France of her age. So it was a dream actually to contact her and to have her read the script and things like that. So it all started because she was my number one choice. Just like really go and dream big and just get her. And when we started to have some finance, some budget, actually the budget was we had some funds and stuff like this, and we had a decent budget actually to make the film the way we expected it with my producers. And they told me, well, she might just want to play in the film. I mean, the script is interesting, it's different from what she's usually playing, so there's a good chance that she might accept. I mean, and she read the script, she loved it, we met in a cafe, and that was it. I mean, I just the casting was done because I've seen her in so many features, and I know she was a great actress. I was convinced that she would be perfect for the role. So I just talked to her. We met in a cafe. The conversation was great. We felt both at ease with each other. So for her, that was my number one choice, and that was actually my only choice. So I was so glad that she accepted. For the others, actually, we worked with a casting director, and she I didn't have a very specific idea for the other actors. I wasn't really sure of how to go. She showed me different actors, and we were waiting for answers and stuff like this, and actually Sebastian, who's played the sous chef, Sebastian Bani, he's a great actor. I've seen him in several feature, also in second role, supporting roles, and when we met, he told me that his first job, and I didn't know when I met him. Well, when I made my choice about, giving him the part, and just before we met, I didn't know that. But when we met, he told me that he used to be a chef. That was his first job, actually, before he went into acting, before he trained as an actor. He used to work in very famous and fancy restaurants. So it was all the better for all the gestures, the way he's cutting really, really fast, the onions and stuff like this. It was really at ease, I mean, for him. So there was it was the best part to know that he had all of his knowledge to bring to the role. So that was great. And the third actor, Philippe Résimond, who plays the chef, I just love his voice. I really loved his voice. He has a very deep, profound, and rich voice. So that's something that I'm really, how do you say, sensitive for actors to know their voices. So that was high. And same thing, when I met him, I thought he was great. He had a very, he had a charisma and very nice presence and stuff like this. So that's basically how I got. Really smooth process.
Incredibly lucky.
Exactly. I was really lucky.
Amazing. I love those stories because it's nice to know it still happens. And, that whole go for what you want. If, you find an actor that you want to play a role, it never hurts to try. And I think
exactly.
That's something super important, especially in the film fest circuit. It never hurts to ask. The worst thing will be no.
Exactly.
That's so amazing that you were able to get Josephine, and I mean she was amazing, and I thought the cast was great. So it's nice to see how it pulled together.
Yeah, and everybody was great on the set too. It was a great casting process and great on the set also. So great experience.
It's so nice to hear. I am going to move on back to shortcuts. And especially since we have a good chunk of the team, I was gonna kind of ask how everybody else met, how long was your filming? Because you say that you feel like you're so close. Did you have a kind of a short filming that you just bonded right away, or was there a long process with different pieces being put together?
God, I'm really we were so lucky. It's my first movie as a director and a producer. It's also the first script of Tany. So we were very, very lucky that for the acting, we didn't have to reach out very far, because Georg and me, and Tany and Georg and me, know each other for several years now. And it just fit. I read the script, and for me, I was very fast with, but Tany, don't you want to be Patrick? Because I mean, I totally see you in that. And don't you see Georg as Anton? What do you say about that? And we didn't discuss that very long. That was very fast. And from there, we just went. We had very little funding. We did have a little bit, which already made us feel like heroes, because it's not so easy to start and to get from somewhere. It's so hard. And it was Corona all over. Everyone was so, I mean.
So you were filming during the pandemic.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. But we had the funding and we had the dates to do it, and it was in the middle of the woods, which was, we didn't have to pay, which was the guy was a bit weird but very nice in the end. He never really said, yes, you can have the location, it's an off-road park, there is no one there, it's really empty. And also for the team to get together, one of the very, very important points was Georg introducing me to Tobias. Because actually I tried to make that movie a year before, but then the woman who should have done the camera, who was a friend of mine, she, I don't know, her focus really changed, and then other things were more important in her life. And 2 weeks before the shoot, she was just saying, no, I'm sorry, I'm out. I can't, I'm really not into filming anymore. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to make my film. Because it was really a big jump from being a performing artist and then a dancer for so long. And then I always had in my mind, okay, you have to study film. You can't be good enough if you don't study it. and I've been a part of projects in different kinds, and but always like a supporting role also behind the camera, like supporting others, but not really doing my own thing. And then we went to a Greek restaurant, I remember.
Mhm.
And it was really funny because I didn't know you at all, but I don't know, I was like trying to pitch my idea and about the team and everything. And then I said, you can sleep over it if you're interested, and I'll give you the script and everything. And you were like really calm, like you're now, that's like so your style, and you're really calm, and you're like, I don't have to sleep over that, it's fine, I'm gonna do this. Like, and I was like, yay, cool, because those two have worked together before. So I knew already, because we are really friends for a while now. So I knew already that that work was really interesting and really cool. It is an Austrian movie as well, called.
Well, it doesn't have an English title, so I don't know. It's called Die Odyssee des Franz, which is, well, you know, the Odyssey of a guy named Franz, which was,
Yeah. So
also a little comedic and actually, I would say quite similar in style actually to Shortcuts, interestingly, and that's why I also just immediately loved the script when I read it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it when things are like just a little bit away from separation, that you are close enough. And again, if you ask enough people or mention it in the right circles, I like the fact everybody's meeting at cafes and Greek restaurants. I mean, not that my focus was just on all the food, but I'm saying like restaurants might be the way to go for people. If you're trying to land something, remember that in the future. Go to a cafe, go to a restaurant.
yeah, it's very Viennese though. I would just like to go somewhere to meet, which wasn't possible now in Corona, of course. And we are really opening up again here in Austria. I hope it lasts.
Fingers crossed for everybody that, yeah, more cafe meetings. Definitely. I have another question for Aude. For this one's a little bit different, but for the locations, were, you know, the office and then the church and everything, the church was beautiful. How did you have difficulties? Were you able to find something? Like, how did that work out?
More difficulties to find the office, oddly, than the church. And it was a surprise for me. Especially the church was free, gratis, free.
Yeah.
Not the office. And it ran very simple. We asked several priests from several churches, and one asked for the script and had a few questions about the script, but the others they barely read it. And they said, it's the keys, tech, and it's okay for us. It's amazingly easy to put a set in a church. The only difficulties to have a set in a church is we shoot in December, and 2 weeks before Christmas, and the priest told us that the only thing which deserve the stop of the shooting is the funerals. And in December, I didn't know, but in December, there is a lot of funerals. There are a lot of funerals. And the priest said to us, careful, be careful, be flexible, because if there is a funeral, I can do nothing but doing the funeral, and it's normal. So so it's the only difference. And there were no funerals during the set after all.
That is not one of the complications I would have foreseen. I mean, I actually thought it might have been harder or more difficult to get the church, just maybe based on the script, if somebody didn't maybe have the sense of humor, but it sounds like that went well.
No, but it was a surprise for us. No difficulties with the script. The only difficulties were, is it possible with the ceremony, the funeral? It's surprisingly open a church.
Like, I really think the one thing I'm learning today with everybody involved is like ask to film where you want to film and who you want to get. And it's not, one thing I love about the panels is there's usually something that'll tie everything together. And I'm finding that this one is ask the question, ask.
Yes.
Because you could be so pleasantly surprised. That is
the surprise is often it is a yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I guess we have about 10 minutes left or so, and I always like to do the positive, like what were some of your favorite moments? Start again maybe with Merryl, of like what surprised you the most, or maybe what did you learn the most with this process?
It's only my second short film, and it's my first produced, which means that my previous project was a very, very, very low budget, like no budget at all. And then I had this one that was produced, and I had a great, an amazing crew and a great team of actors. So it was a totally different scale, basically. And honestly, I loved every part of it. It was really, I love the preparation. I love location scouting. Was really cool because I've been waiting for so long to make that film. It was the hard part, actually, having the film being put together, because it's a film de genre. And in France, the producer that I've contacted before I found my actual producers from Top Shot Film, they were all saying, "Oh, it's interesting, it's different, but it's a film de genre, so we're not going to take that chance. We're not going to take that risk because it's complicated to finance." So basically, no's all the time. And it took me a long time to actually put it together, find the right producers, the financing and stuff like this. So when I started to have my crew together, when I started to have the actors, the location scouting was really intense, because I felt that, yeah, it's coming together. I'm actually gonna make my film. It was really, really exciting. And then the shooting, of course. I had a whole team with me, behind me, that was very supportive. I was, honestly, on the first day of shooting, I was petrified, really, really petrified, because I had, I don't know, we had some people, because of the set. We have a few extras who are doing the people of the kitchens and stuff like this. So they were, I don't know, something like 35 people on the set, which is pretty a large number of people, and as a director, you have to lead all of those people. So on the first day, I was really petrified. But then I found my marks. Everybody was really into the film. They really wanted to make the best film possible. So I felt all of that energy, and it was really, really powerful. And I found my marks, and the rest of the shooting was just an incredible pleasure.
That's so nice to hear. That's wonderful. It's like the warm, fuzzy feelings we all need right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the subject is really dark. The film is really dark. It's quite intense. But on the other side of it, making it writing it was another thing, you know, it was a long process and stuff like this, but making the film, it was an incredible pleasure. So you have to say that before you watch the film, maybe just no one got hurt. It was great. But yeah, it was a great thing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. For the Shortcuts team, I kind of have like the same, I mean, you guys do seem so tight knit and already, and maybe, is there anything in the future from your camp? Are you sticking together or?
Yeah, we are. We already produced 2 other music videos with kind of the same team as far as possible. And I just can rely on the many people on set because Shortcuts was so small. And the last music video, we had like over 40 people. I think cast and crew, everything together, I think it was 50. So that was a lot. And that was really in the lockdown. I wanted to add that back then when we shooted Shortcuts, it was allowed to shoot. We didn't break any rules to shoot. Like it was in the Corona. I just wanted to add that because it sounded like, oh, we were in the middle in the woods. It was everything fine. And at least the actors got tested and everything. Back then we couldn't have free tests. Now in Austria, it's so much easier. But back then it was a bit rough, but it was fine. We could finance that too. And yeah, we're sticking together. We're already planning our next short film. Actually, we just finished one of the I don't know in English.
funding. Yeah, what's the word? Funding applications.
And yeah, funding application, like where you have to bring all the concepts together and all the calculation and everything. And so the deadline is tomorrow, and we did that just before the meeting today.
Oh, how exciting! Oh, I'm so excited! Yay!
Yeah. No, it's really great to find your team. It's so great to find, like, because then you can build up, I think, so easily when the communication is good and the vibes, you just fit together, the what you want artistically, and yeah, how you work, how your brains work, and then it's easier to make decisions together when it has to go fast on set or something is difficult. If your understanding is really good, and it's a very, very respectful atmosphere. And I'm so thankful to be able to do this, what I always like wanted when I was on the other side, being an actress, because I mean, to be honest, it's not really the normal thing that everything is so happy on set. I mean, of course you can have a pressure and you have, I don't know, the time we were running with the time, we were so scared that the sun would come up before we were finished. We calculated really not enough time. That is something I learned from Shortcuts. Totally. Like the last time I knew the shot list by heart because I was just more.
We shot the movie in one night, so we really had to rush things up before the sun rises. Sorry for interrupting.
No, that was one of my questions, and yes, thank you for that. That's wow, one night, way to go. We are coming down towards the end, and I wanted to get a little bit from Aude also, if shining moments that you had, and I guess a little bit of last thoughts maybe for us on your movie.
The best moments or the most challenging moments?
Well, I want both, but let's go with best because unfortunately we're short on time, and I want a happy story.
You want a happy story. The best moment, all the shooting, like Merryl said, all my team was great and mostly feminine. My director of photography is a woman. My script, we had a chief machinist who is a woman, mostly women, and incredible women with me. And having a team behind you is the most important during the shooting. And I remember I shoot, the set was in December, and in December the sun is very low.
Oh, yes.
and the night comes early. And we had a little hour in the day, and the night was here, and my director of photography literally recreates the sun behind the windows of the in the church, and it was incredible. All the energy she gave to this shooting. It's the moment I remember, and the other and more private moment. My little girl had 1 year old, and it was a very challenging manage to conduct the set, the shooting, and the motherhood in the same time. but it was also the one of the best parts.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I hate to, I feel like we could go on chatting for a while. It has been an absolute pleasure speaking with all of you today. I hope everyone tuning in has had the chance to watch all the movies, Haute Cuisine, Shortcuts, and Jesus 2020. If you haven't, please do. They are all amazing, and they all have wonderful people working with them. And I am so excited I got to meet you all today. Thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.